Welcome to Explore. I'm Mary Ruth Snyder, and our very special guest today is the new president of North Island College, Lisa Domae. Lisa, thanks so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me, Mary Ruth. Hello to everyone.
Now, Lisa, where were you born and raised? Let's follow your path for a few minutes.
Sure, Mary Ruth. Well, I was born actually in Vancouver, on the mainland, and I was raised in the city of Richmond, which is just adjacent to the airport.
Now, where did you do all of your schooling? Was it right there in Richmond?
Yeah, I did all of my K-12 in Richmond, and I attended the University of British Columbia for my first degree, a Bachelor of Arts. Okay. Then I started working actually at what was Kwantlen College then in Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
As a summer job all through that university experience. And then after working there for many years, I decided to do a master's degree, and I did that at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario for a couple of years. And after that, I came back and I took a job at what's now Thompson Rivers University. I worked there for several years.
Okay.
And then I came here to the North Island and have been here for over 20 years.
You've been here that long, really?
Yeah, I've been here since 2000.
Okay. Now, what was your master's degree in? What was
My master's degree is in urban and regional planning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm a registered professional planner.
Now, how did that lead you into the field of education?
Well, education is actually a service, right? It's a service to our communities, and the focus of my master's degree was on community building and serving communities, building healthy and resilient communities through education and training. And that is what has brought me to the position that I'm here in today and why I'm talking to you. Our passion, our incredible passion for working with communities to build stronger communities through education and training of people.
Awesome. Okay, well, that all makes sense. What was it in your upbringing that informed those early choices for you?
Well, I was very, very lucky in that I come from a family that put education of children at the very top of priorities. So it was always known that there would be support for me if I wanted to go to university. And in fact, when I finished my PhD, I guess in 2017, my parents were still incredibly supportive of continuing that sort of education journey all through your life. So my parents are very formative about how education can change the trajectory of a person's life. And my father was a fisherman. And by the time he left the fishing industry, it wasn't the industry that he started. And he said, you probably aren't going to be able to be a fisherman, Lisa. Straight up true. I can't go on a boat for very long without feeling sick. He said, you're going to have to find something else. And I think school will be the way that you discover something different for yourself. And which is what I did. And I had an enormous privilege to have post-secondary education change my life. And so I am utterly committed to the people of the North Island and how we can help them change their lives through education and training. To open new doors, to see new possibilities, to strive for new goals. It's what infects all of us here at NIC.
Now, did you have any siblings growing up?
I do. I have a sister.
And did she follow a similar path to you into education?
Yeah, my sister also went to UBC as well. Yes. Yeah, but she's not, I don't think she'd consider herself an academic. She's a business professional.
Okay, awesome. Now, what was it you did your doctorate in?
I did my doctorate in geography.
Oh, where does that fit in?
I did a study of campuses, actually, and of what campuses mean to people. And I studied a couple of different campuses and to try and understand how we might be able to improve them so that students have a greater sense of belonging. Because, of course, at NIC, we are passionately committed to supporting people on their educational journey. And we know that for some people, they'll be their first time in post-secondary. And I wanted to understand what about the campus makes people feel comfortable, and what about the campus makes people feel uncomfortable, and how could we improve that? And what I learned, Mary Ruth, was that while people love the campuses and the traditional college campus with yards and greenery and trees, what really makes a campus important and meaningful to a student is the other people on the campus. The friendly faces, the knowing the people who are on campus, seeing them every day, following their routine, knowing there are people to help them. And that really is what we're about at NIC. So I was really glad to have that research to really understand how students and community experience campuses. So that's why I did my PhD in geography.
That's awesome. Now you're dealing with 3 main campuses and 2 secondary campuses?
We have 4 campuses, Mary Ruth.
Okay.
We have a campus in Campbell River,
right?
The Heritage Lands Complex. We have a campus here in the Comox Valley where my office is.
Right.
We also have an adjacent site at the former St. Joseph's Hospital here in Comox.
Okay.
We have a campus in Port Alberni.
Right.
With an adjacent site at the Tebow Vocational Center. We have a campus, Ni Alaquila campus in Port Hardy. And we have a center on the west coast in Ucluelet.
Okay.
Something for everybody.
I think that is one of the things that really separates North Island College from other colleges across Canada is that that North Island College has been able to expand and establish itself in the different communities because they are so very different. Each community you mentioned is completely different. And to build a campus that works for that community and that can evolve with that community as each community grows.
That's exactly right. As Islanders, we know that all of the communities are different and special, and the needs of all of the communities are different and special, whether it's Gold River or whether it's a Howsett, they're different. And so we are working to be embedded in the communities so that we can serve the needs of the people, community, businesses, industries that are there, and try to provide as comprehensive an education as possible, and access to education as close to home as possible.
Right. Now, the one thing that has not unfolded yet, but I think it's on the radar, is to build residences. How far away is that in the strategic plan?
Well, we're hoping it's really close, Mary Ruth. We have a brand new strategic plan. It's called Build 2026. And viewers can find it if they go to www.engage.nic.bc.ca. And if you crack that open, you'll see that one of our goals is actually building comprehensive plans for each of our campuses. But it also includes building NIC's housing commons at the Comox Valley campus. We have a business case in with the provincial government right now, and we are all waiting until they've had a chance to take a look at it and approve it, and we're hoping that will be soon.
Okay. So if the approval comes through, are you hoping shovels in the ground when?
That's a little hard to say until we have approval, but what I'll tell you is that as soon as we get that approval, we are ready to go.
Okay.
So we're going to start the processes, but we have to wait until government approves it, and when that happens, you'll find us working straight away. The project is very exciting. It has both housing for single students and housing for families as well in 2 separate facilities. So there'll be over 200 beds of student housing. We know that students come from all over the North Island to this campus for programming that we offer here, hands-on training.
Yeah.
And so we are very excited to be able to provide a home for students on campus that will support them in their learning. We're not wanting just to build apartments. We are wanting to build something that supports students in being successful. And so we're planning a living, learning community here on the campus that we think will support not only the housing needs of the communities that we're in, but the students who are working towards their goals.
Okay. Well, that sounds really wonderful. I know that that's been on the radar for a long time, so I'm glad it's coming to fruition.
Yeah.
You've been in your role now for, is it four months?
Just about 5, I think. I think I just passed the 5-month threshold.
How did you find the relationship with the provincial government? Like when you started to have those conversations with the Minister of Post-Secondary Education?
Oh, I just had the most wonderful experience being able to meet Minister Kang this last week and chatting with her. Of course, it's been difficult in those relationships. It's hard. We haven't been able to meet face to face for quite a while because of the pandemic. But the provincial government has a very strong mandate for us that's really in alignment with what North Island College is and who we are. And so we have a very supportive relationship with them and look forward to helping meet their mandate for post-secondary education, which is really focused on people. So that is very much what we focus on here at NIC. And it's very much focused on economic recovery and supporting people through COVID-19.
One of the biggest challenges that businesses right across Canada are finding are lack of employees, period, in every field. It doesn't matter whether it's trades or medicine or hospitality. There is just not enough people to fill the jobs that are posted. And it bodes well for the generations coming up because they'll never be out of work. Anybody who wants to work right now has no excuse not to work because we need everything. In all the different campuses you offer, pretty much the gamut, A to Z, is there any one program that stands out that you've heard is more needed than others, or are you hearing that basically we need everybody educated in every field?
Bingo. Yeah, right now, depending on who you talk to, if you talk to industry, they say we need skilled trades and technical people. Can't get them fast enough, need more apprenticeships. Talk to healthcare, they say we need healthcare workers, of course, for COVID, that's a big priority. We talk to people in the business world, we need legal assistants and office administrators. We need more teachers. It's really across the board, and we need more creative people. We've launched a new computer information systems program. We've got a digital design program that really focuses, on technology, and those interest in those programs are exploding. So it's early childhood education, it's pathways to university, it's business courses, it's everything. And you can see it right now with we're starting off the fall semester with an 8% increase in enrollment within the region, right? So people are really finding what we're doing. And like you said, everybody's looking for something different and something more.
In the conversations that I've had the opportunity to be a part of at the national level, it seems that the pandemic created this perfect storm of a vacuum for needing people. We had about 1/3 is caused by people that, 6 months into the pandemic went, you know what, I was going to retire in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but they pulled the plug early. And then about 1/3 are people that left jobs they weren't enjoying to pursue passion, to go back to school. And the other 1/3 are the ones who are still out and on CERB and not going back. But those three things were the catalyst that created this perfect vacuum across Canada. And because of the retirees, those people aren't coming back. And I think that's why, and the other ones who are all going back to school to be trained in something they're passionate about, that's going to bode well for NIC and for the rest of us as they come through their courses. When you are talking to people that are applying, are you seeing all ages apply, or is it just kids coming out of school?
It's all ages, Mary Ruth. It's all ages of people. And the way you describe it is exactly how we're hearing it too. There's people whose industry is no longer as strong as it was, and so they want to move into another one. There's people who said, hey, this pandemic caused me to pause for a minute. And I realized I've always wanted to be an artist. And now I've realized time's limited. So I'm going to come back and be an artist. And so we have that experience. One of the big changes the college has made in the last year is to really try and make ourselves as accessible to as many people as possible. And so we really are providing education face-to-face, and we return to campus this fall. It's exciting to have more people back on campus. But we've also got more programming available to people to take remotely.
Okay.
And we're seeing lots of people of different ages accessing that programming because it's more convenient. And for some people, they have responsibilities with childcare, with their farms, with their parents, and that kind of flexible education, which is really the hallmark of the new strategic plan, seems to be meeting the needs of the people of the region.
Now, you said you have more people back on campus this September.
We do.
And are you offering students a choice of either to come in person or is there a blended version of any program if the student chooses not to come on campus?
Yeah, simplistically, we have three kinds of programming. One is face-to-face. You come into the classroom you're in the classroom, a traditional classroom environment with your instructor. Then we have programming that you can access entirely remotely, like over the internet or online. And then we have a programming that's a mix of both. You do some things online and some things on campus. And so students have the choice of all three kinds of programming at NIC. And, that really allows people who don't live near one of the locations, as many as we have, to access programming that they would like to do.
Right.
We were loud and clear through the pandemic from community, from people, from First Nations, that they wanted that flexibility.
Okay. How have you been able to manage with the faculty? Is that increasing their workload, having to both teach in person and teach online, or does it all happen simultaneously? And is there support among the faculty to support all of those options?
We are very lucky, Mary Ruth, at NIC to have a Center for Teaching and Learning Innovation. And that's headed by Dr. Liesl Knapp at NIC. And she and her team have worked very hard to support faculty in delivering and changing their programming the way they want it to change. So we are very lucky to have that Center for Innovation who works very hard to support faculty and to make sure that when we're delivering programming, we continue to deliver it in a really high quality way, no matter how it's being delivered.
I would think that would set NIC apart from some of the other colleges, making you very competitive in recruiting faculty.
Absolutely. Not only would we be inviting people to come live in one of the most glorious places in the world, and we all know that when people come, they don't want to leave, like me. They don't want to leave. And so, yes, absolutely. It is absolutely one of our advantages. And it's not just for attracting faculty. It's to make sure that the student experience, the learning experience, is the best that it can be. And that's why we're here.
Now, looking ahead next spring, 1 year into your role as president, what are you hoping to achieve in this first year?
In the first year?
Yeah.
Well, we've already passed a new strategic plan, Bill 2026. We've developed a new indigenization plan at NIC, the first indigenization plan ever. It's called Working Together. So we have both of those plans in place. Yeah. So in our first year, we're looking forward to starting to really realize our vision of providing and supporting communities in thriving. And so for us, that's going to mean continuing to offer more programs in flexible ways. It's also going to mean working on supporting faculty and staff, as you've mentioned, in the work in achieving our vision.
Right.
It's also going to talk about how we can make our college and campuses more welcoming to diverse people through a diversity and inclusion strategy. The housing that you mentioned, we have so many things that we're working on for our first year, and we've really come a long way. So it's a really exciting time to be part of the college. It really is.
What is the one thing you are looking forward to most?
In the first year or in general?
Yeah.
What I'm looking forward to most, Mary Ruth, is when we've reached a place where we don't feel like COVID-19 is casting such a long shadow over what we do.
Okay.
And creating tension and anxiety and rightful worry over what we do, and that we all feel safe and healthy and ready to continue our lives in the way we do. I think that the fourth wave of the pandemic, the Delta variant, is making people feel anxious and nervous. And none of us are at our best when we're anxious and nervous. So that's honestly what I'm really hoping for the most, is that we can be the best that we can be. Not just as a college, but as a number of communities.
Right. How often are you able to get out and go and visit the communities that NIC is at? Do you have a regular schedule in your schedule that allows you to go out and visit the other campuses?
Yeah, we get out as much as we can. This summer we were in Fort McNeil visiting the Carpentry Foundation program just up in Campbell River. We're at the campuses regularly. I'm doing lots of meetings with community members, whether it's at their office or over Zoom. There's lots of people who still prefer to meet actually virtually for safety and personal reasons. And so we're continuing to do that. But yeah, wherever we're invited, we're happy to go.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite campus?
Of course, they're all special. That's like asking if you have a favorite child. Absolutely not. They're all different. They're all special, and they're all doing incredible things.
Sorry, I had to ask that.
Of course you did.
Oh, so what would you say in all of your own personal education impacted you the most so far in your role as president?
Probably, I'm a first generation learner, so I'm the first generation in my family to do post-secondary. And I would say, a lot of the research that I did for my PhD and the way I approached the college is not making sure I felt that sense of belonging we want everybody to feel. And so I think that it really drives me to try and really make everybody feel welcome on the campus and feel like they're part of the campus community. And for us, that means working with each student one person at a time. I think that's what we're known for. And I think that's what drew me to the college when I joined it 20 years ago. And I think it's what keeps a lot of us here so passionate about what we do now.
Okay. And the international student contingent, how many international students do you have that started in September?
I believe we had about 90 students who started in September.
Okay.
About 40 or so more whose study permits were delayed. So I think they'll join us in January. Okay. International student enrollment has, of course, been one of the areas that has been affected by the pandemic, and ability to travel, ability to get study permits. But yes, we've been welcoming more international students back to campus this fall and look forward to welcoming more in the coming terms.
And are the new group that just arrived, are they predominantly in the Comox Valley, or are they up in Campbell River or elsewhere?
Our plans are to have students at each of the campuses. The first group, I think, is mostly here in Comox Valley, but we will have more students arrive for Campbell River in January, as well as Fort Alberni.
Okay. What would you say is maybe the one program that NIC offers that you don't think we know about, the general public? What's the hidden gem?
There's many hidden gems here at NIC, but the one I think that I don't think people know about, they know about our nursing programs, they know about our trades programs, they know about our university pathways. One of the gems that I don't think people are as aware of is that we offer a Bachelor of Business Administration in many different, see, I got you too. People don't know that we offer a Bachelor of Business Administration with several specialties that can lead them on to a business career, that can lead them on to an MBA. Many people become professional accountants. But yeah, most people do not know that we offer our own Bachelor of Business Administration.
Wow, I did not know that.
That is the hidden gem.
Okay.
And it is a gem.
And it is a gem.
It is a gem.
All right. Well, we only have a few minutes left. What is it that you would like to share with us about NIC that we may not know?
What you may not know about NIC. I think not everybody knows that we are in every community. Mm-hmm. I think people don't know that we not only have locations in every community. For example, you may not have known that we have a site at the former St. Joseph's Hospital now where we're teaching health and human services education. I think people don't know how comprehensive we are. Like you said, everything from A to Z to the best of our ability, and pathways to university as well.
Okay.
So I'd say, come on in. And let's figure out what you're interested in and how we can help you on your educational pathway. Okay.
That's awesome. So, Lisa, congratulations on becoming president of North Island College. It really is fantastic to have a woman in positions of power in post-secondary across Canada. Nothing against the men, but there is something I think that the feminine brings to those positions that the men just don't have that characteristic. So I hope you're enjoying your 5 months in. Has anything surprised you?
Oh, many things have surprised me. We're in the middle of a global pandemic, but I am absolutely loving it, and it's an absolute honor and privilege to be able to lead the college that means so very much to me. I can't express that enough.
Awesome. Well, we hope to catch up with you maybe this time next year. We'll see how the first year unfolded for you. And for anybody that would like to explore the website, please have them go to the website. And I believe there's also a 1-800 number they can call.
Absolutely. www.nic.bc.ca is the easiest to remember. Just type in North Island College and phone numbers, 1-800 numbers, information is all, you can find it all there.
And you actually have people answering that number. It's not
robotic. You actually have real people answering that number.
Which is so nice to have. Oh my goodness. In this day and age of pre-recorded calls and dial. Anyway, it's just nice that you have people manning the phones.
We do. We're all about people. Making people feel welcome.
That's a great place to end this. So Lisa, thank you again so much for joining us for this episode of Explore, and all the best in your first year. We'll speak with you again.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it, Mary Ruth.